What's up athletes, welcome back to this channel. In this video today I'm going to walk you through about how I healed my injury, and I'm doing this video today because I was finally able to come back to doing full planche presses without feeling any pain in my bicep. Okay, so I had a bicep injury right now for about a month and a half, something like that, and I truly do think that in 1.5 months to heal an injury it's quite fast. And even though I made some mistakes, I was still able to achieve great results and actually, again, as I said, come back from a point where literally just a month ago or a month and a week, I couldn't really do advanced stack without any pain, okay? And just 2 months ago, I've done like 5 full planche presses, but then I went down to having pain in advanced stack in my bicep. It was right here in the tendon, and right now I was finally able to progress up until the point where I'm having no pain in full planche presses. Okay, so I truly think that I made a crazy progress in this month and a half in related to the injury, but I truly want to walk you through about how I did it, what mistakes I've done, because I've done some mistakes and I was still able to overcome them. But in this video today, I'm going not to teach you about how to really heal your injuries, but about my experience with injury and this injury specifically, and to make sure that you understand that you're seeing a point of view that is different from you, and then maybe it will help you to do it for yourself as well. Okay, so I will start by saying what mistakes I've actually done. Okay, and I've actually done a few mistakes. Okay, so the first mistake that I've done is training with pain. Okay, sorry about that. So I was training with pain at the first 1 to 2 weeks of the injury. Okay, so I had a session that I felt my bicep, I felt some discomfort. I was still very strong. I was doing 7 seconds full planche to press. I was able to do 3 full planche presses, but I always felt my bicep, okay? That was about 2 months ago. But then I continued to train with the pain itself for 1 to 2 weeks prior to that. And just after that, I realized, okay, this pain isn't something normal and I have to check it. So I actually made the injury worse by working with the pain, by training with the pain for 1 to 2 weeks. I was doing like full planche presses, I was doing wide presses, I was doing Maltese presses with the band. So I actually made the injury even more severe, and that was my first mistake, that I was training with pain. Okay, now how can you actually avoid it? It's really easy. Just stop training when you're feeling the pain and rest for at least, I would say, 3 days, and if you're still feeling the pain, then rest for a full week. Okay, so how you can just fix this mistake is rest 2-3 days up to a week when feeling pain. Okay, that was the first mistake that I've done. Really easy to avoid, which is just to stop training and rest for a few days. And actually, I know for sure that if I would have rested for that 2 to 3 days after I had that session with the pain or the discomfort in the bicep, I would probably not got injured at all. Okay, so it was just a discomfort, but because I kept on training, it became severe and more severe, and just like a tendonitis in the tendon. So that was my first mistake. Now, the second mistake is that when I realized that I was training with pain, okay, and then I decided, okay, I can't really train with pain. What should I do right now? Instead of taking full rest, okay, instead of taking full rest, what I've done was trying to do light sessions. And that again is a mistake, because we've just talked about it earlier. If you're feeling some kind of pain, you want to make sure that you're resting at least 2 to 3 days to even a week for your bicep, for your anterior deltoid. Maybe the problem is just the planche itself. So you want to rest for at least 2 to 3 days to a week, okay? It's the exact same, okay? Rest 2 to 3 days when feeling the pain, okay? So this is another easy one to avoid. Just don't do the light sessions, okay? This is literally a mistake. When you're feeling the pain, just stop training for at least 2 to 3 days. You will not have any correlation to the injury whatsoever after these 2-3 days? Probably. And if you do, you're just resting for a week and then coming back easier, okay? So that was the first and the second mistake. Now the third mistake that I've done is something that I didn't really knew that it was a mistake, but I knew that after resting, okay, so I've rested like for a full week, and the pain got better, but then I realized, okay, so if the pain got better, right now I don't have any pain, so I can come back to not really light sessions, but I can come back to the same intensity. So I was still doing full planche, but not close to failure. And that again is a mistake. Why is that? Because when you're coming back, it's not about the how close you are to failure, but about the intensity itself. And the mistake I was doing is that I started with full planche. I should have done with straddle or with half lay, which is again something that I could have avoided well earlier, but just after 1 to 2 weeks of training with full planche not close to failure, I realized that I have to drop down the intensity even more. So how to avoid this mistake is start training low intensity. Okay, so when you're coming back from the injury, you've rested for 2 to 3 days, and then you start training with low intensity. So you're coming back from full to half lay or to straddle, and if you're in straddle, you're coming back even to advanced stack if needed. As I said, I had literally advanced stack planche with pain in my bicep just 1.5 months ago. Okay, it's literally just 45 days that I realized, and actually done some mistake, but I realized how to cover this injury and make sure that I will not have it anymore. Okay, so this is the mistake that I've done. I just suggest you to rest for 2 to 3 days, don't do any light sessions, don't do any activities, and then when you feel ready to come back, you have to start with low intensity. Okay? Now let's move on forward to what I've done after, changing these mistakes and starting from here, starting with a low intensity. I've literally just wasted about 2 to 3 weeks. Like these 3 mistakes took me 2 to 3 weeks to realize that I'm doing a mistake, and then probably another week just to get better to the same level of not really a pain, and then just I've started to heal the injury. So the first thing that I've done is, of course, low intensity. So I was doing half lay, but I was still training with 1 to 2 out of 10 pain, and this is important because you want to work on the movement that actually caused you pain. Now, my movement that caused me pain is probably like the wide planche, but even if it's the wide planche, just training with the planche itself with low intensity and still feeling some pain just means that I'm getting my biceps stronger, and I'm working specifically on the tendonitis itself and making sure that it's getting healed as fast as possible. So this is what I was doing. I was working with half lay in 1 to 2 out of 10 pain, and I actually let myself get close to failure. So I don't know if it will work for everyone, but I went close to failure in half lay, and I've started by doing 3 presses, okay? 3 presses would have been so easy for me 3 months ago in full, but right now it was really hard for me to get to failure for them. Like I was doing 3 half lay presses, and it really felt hard for me. I felt my bicep, I sometimes felt my shoulders because my bicep wasn't strong enough, so the shoulder had to work even more in the planche, and I got to the point where 3 half lay presses, I will write it down, that the getting close to failure section was 3 half lay presses. Okay? And then all I was doing is in this past 1.5 months is to increase the intensity slowly but surely. Now the jump between half lay to full is quite big. It's still quite big between variations. So instead of jumping in increasing the intensity like to half lay to full, I was just doing more intense sets. So I started to add dead stop in presses. Okay, so between each and every press, after I was doing 3 half lay presses, the next session I was doing, for example, 2 seconds hold to 3 half lay presses. And then on the next session, I was doing like 2 seconds hold, press, 2 seconds hold, press. Okay, so I was just increasing the intensity through presses and holds. Okay, and this is important why I was doing presses and holds, because presses and holds were what was the actual exercise that I got pain with. Okay, that's why I'm not done any push-up, okay, because push-ups are not specific for the injury. I want to heal the injury, I have to work on the movement that specifically caused me pain at the first place. And that's why I've started with increasing in dead stopping presses. I was doing holds to presses, okay, so it can be like 4 seconds hold to 2 presses, and I was able to get up to the point of doing 5 seconds to press, 6 seconds to press, 7 seconds to press. And even if it's kind of easy for me to do it in full, just 3 months ago, I realized that I have to drop my ego, okay? This is just something that I've done in the healing injury phase, is to just, it's actually so important that I have to put it in red, is drop your ego. And I know how hard it is, believe me, as a content creator, who all of my followers know that I can do 10 seconds full planche hold to a press. And right now I have to upload all my stories that I'm doing 3 half leg presses, like this is a joke. But I knew that this is the most important. I have to drop my ego and to make sure that I'm healing my injury as fast as possible to come back to the 10 seconds, 10 seconds full to press, which I will come back, I believe, in a month or in a month and a half. You can check it on my Instagram, the link is in the description. I'm sharing there even more about my trainings, so just follow there. But basically, again, drop your ego and just make sure that you're lowering down the intensity. And even if something was so easy for you just 2 months ago, you need to realize that right now it's not easy and you have to bear with it, okay? So that was what I was doing. And when I began to get to a crazy volume in half leg, and I got up to the point from 3 half leg presses close to failure up to 6 dead stop presses. Okay, so like half a second in between each and every press without any momentum, 6 presses. That means that right now I can start doing more high intensity stuff, but not only in half leg but in full. So after getting very confident with the half leg and literally not feeling any pain in the half leg, that's when I decided that I want to walk in full planche. But again, it's the same cycle. You can guess it right now. I will give you like 2 seconds. Okay, that's the timeout. In 1 to 2 out of 10 pain. Okay, because I was able to progress in half leg from 1 out of 10 to 2 pain up to the point that I started with 3 half leg presses, it got to 6 dead stop presses. So right now I can do the same in full. So I was doing just bed form press. I was doing bed from holds with pain, and over time it got to the point when I got not pain. Okay, I just stopped having pain in the actual planche, and this is just the session yesterday. Okay, so I was working like that up until to the point when full planche without pain. Now this is crucial, because when you got to the point when you're doing full planche without pain, it actually got, I already done it in Tuesday, but on Tuesday I made sure that I'm still having some half leg sets in the session itself, okay? Because if you will start doing, okay, I'm not having any full planche pain right now, then I will do a full planche session, you will just start to have the pain over again. And that's why you have to make sure that you're, again, doing more volume and more intensity slowly but surely. And that's why on Tuesday I was doing like half a session, half leg, sorry, my camera just got shut down, but that's why on Tuesday I was doing half a session, half leg, half a session full, and then just on Friday basically I was doing a full planche session without pain, like a full session that I was doing just full planche. I was doing the warm-up in half leg, and then I realized that I can do it in full. So this is literally it. All you have to do is to make sure that you are not doing these mistakes, and then you will start to work with some pain in low intensity. Now, if you will ask a physiotherapist, he will say to you that you just have to heal the injury by doing the exercises that he gives you for 1 to 2 out of 10 pain. So why wouldn't you do it in planche, which is so specific? So this is literally the reason that I was able to heal it so fast. And you can do the exact same with every exercise that you had injury and head pain in. Now, of course, that I didn't depend only on the session itself and on my trainings, and I was also doing some physiotherapy, okay, some stretching. I also went to someone who is my friend who helped me like with massages and to make sure that my bicep literally feel ready and not like sore all the time. So he helped me a ton, first of all. So you can always go to a professional, but I'm just saying that you have to be your own professional and make sure that you're doing the right things in your training program, in your training session, to make sure that you are healing your injuries as fast as possible. And this is exactly what I'm doing with my students as well. Okay, so if you're currently dealing with an injury, or not really dealing with an injury, but having problem on progressing in calisthenics, and you don't really know how to use your own programming to make sure that you are progressing the fastest way, and you're just feeling a bit stuck, you don't really know what to do, that's the reason why I'm here, and I'm welcoming you basically into my one-on-one coaching. Now, this is not something for everyone. This is only for those who are truly serious about their calisthenics journey. If you're one of them, go check the description, the first link, book a call with me, and let's see if you can fit into my one-on-one coaching. That's basically it for the video. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hearing my story about how I healed my injury. And let me know in the comments if everything right here helped you. If it does, please let me know what was the reason that you decided to join into the video, if you had injury or something like that. And if you want to hear more content about calisthenics, just subscribe to this channel to see more videos like this. Like this video and share it with a friend who is currently dealing with an injury or just don't know how to train calisthenics, and leave him this masterpiece here. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.